Yo, before I start, can somebody tell me where the hell did Trunks get that Genki Dama video from? Cause I don't know, Piccolo did not have that video on his YouTube channel, so he must have got it from somewhere, and I need to subscribe to that channel, and I need it right now. I got that kind of... Episode 66 of Dragon Ball Super, an episode that was insanely hyped by the community, an episode that has one of the most epic and fan-favorite fused anime characters of all freaking time, Vegito. But not only is he back, but he's far more powerful than ever. On top of that, we got some decent and, dare I say, amazing visual aesthetics. That was really eye-pleasing to say the least. We also got Trunks to shine, quite literally, and not only does he put up a good fight, but he makes a very emotional speech before completely eradicating an evil, raging god. Now be honest, if you see that on paper, you would probably think this was too good to be true, as I just described to you what must be the most epic description. Well, not really. This episode has one fatal problem, but before I begin this discussion, I just want to address one important thing. And be completely honest, I won't sugarcoat anything. This is not a review. This is my own personal opinion and experience with episode 66, and why I think it's a terrible, utter garbage of an episode. However, just because I think this episode was atrocious doesn't mean you're wrong for enjoying it. In fact, you are free to think and like whatever you deem as good. Entertainment is subjective after all. And if you like this episode, then trust me, I am happy for you. In fact, I envy you that you're able to enjoy such a monstrosity. Now, to begin our discussion, I would like to address what almost everybody in the fanbase is upset about, which is the new time limit rule that was introduced. Many seem to think that this is the worst plot hole ever, and Dragon Ball Super basically ruined the whole series for them. Well, first of all, this is not a plot hole, this is called a retcon. A plot hole would be contradicting something that was already pre-established without any explanation. But in this episode, they simply provide a reason to something that was never really addressed, which, by the way, I might have been forgiving if they only follow through that explanation. Like, I'm not mad that they basically retconned one of the best qualities about Potara Fusion and pissed off every diehard Vegito fan. I'm actually irritated myself because they introduced the time limit and they didn't even follow through it. Like, what is even the fucking point? If their main goal was to introduce a new time limit to hinder the time limit of the Potara Fusion, then you might as well stick through it. What's the point? And even if you want to say that that explanation was supposed to address something that happened in the Buu saga, but it was already addressed in the manga. The manga already kind of explained it. Yeah, it doesn't really give you a clear explanation, but it clearly tells you that the atmosphere in Majin Buu's body diffused Vegito, which kind of made sense. Like, there are a lot of headcanons that can perfectly explain why, and us as a community, we never really had a problem with it. So it was really kind of pointless for them to introduce that. Like, I know they're trying to maybe give us a callback to something before, but I really think it really does hurt the Vegito image, especially for the people who actually like Vegito a lot. They're not gonna like this. Like, the main purpose of this episode is to introduce Vegito for the fans, because the fans like Vegito. And I feel like Toei Animation or Akira Toriyama was like, well, the fans like Gogeta like Vegito. Gogeta or Vegito? Gogeta or Vegito? Oh, yes, let's bring Vegito and give him Gogeta's time limit. Like, what? And that's not the worst part. That's not really a thing to be upset about. Like, the Potara Fusion thing, honestly, I can agree with a lot of people that a lot of fans are kind of overreacting. Like, even right now, I'm sounding like I'm overreacting. But I'm overreacting because of one little thing that pissed me off. And this is the thing that made me deem this as bad writing. And do you know what's this? This is something that a lot of people overlooked, and a lot of reviewers overlooked as well. The thing that makes this bad is that in the Universe 6 arc, we actually saw the Kapirokai defuse using the Dragon Balls. So what does that tell you? It basically told fans that, hey, this is a foreshadow for Vegito, and it told us that Vegito can be unfused using the Dragon Balls. So now the unfusing of Kapido-Kai makes no sense narratively. So they basically defused for no reason. Like, this would be good writing if this was foreshadowed. If Vegito actually defused using the Dragon Balls, then that would make a callback to why a Kapido-Kai defused, and it will be like perfect foreshadowing. But right now it's pointless. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, well, Kapido-Kai was uncomfortable, but what does that serve from a writing perspective? If it was uncomfortable, then why didn't Elder Kai defuse? He even actually says in Dragon Ball Z, if you watch Dragon Ball Z again, he says how he didn't like being old and how it was a mistake that he actually fused with that witch. So it kind of tells you that the Kapido-Kai defusion right now is just meh. I don't know. It's just whatever. And also, speaking of bad fusions, the Zamasu fusion, when they first introduced Zamasu, like merged Zamasu, or you want to call him Black Zamasu, Zamasu Black, or whatever. Like, when he first came, he seemed so badass. And he had this, like, presence, godly-like presence. Like, he felt like a god that surpasses gods. But he quickly turned into a bitch. Like, you have no idea how fast he went from being this god to just being a whiny little bitch. I mean, Zamasu was always a whiny little bitch, but this is just multiplying it by 10, you know? And the thing is, Zamasu's immortality doesn't really make sense. Because if you think about it, how could Zamasu be half immortal? Like, my understanding from the fusion, when two people fuse together, their abilities and their personalities all blend. They become one new person. They don't become a half person, half person. It's not like the fusion dance where it's basically a perfect blend or a perfect fusion where they're 50-50. In the Potara fusion, or any fusion actually, like, the abilities are supposed to like merge together and just amplify their power. Like, take Vegito for instance. Vegeta was dead when he fused with Goku, and when a dead person fused with an alive person, they became like an alive person. They didn't become half dead, half alive. He didn't have half a halo in his on top of his head, so it doesn't make sense that he's like half immortal. And again, it really feels that the writers wrote themselves in this corner where they had to make this bullshit reason that he's half immortal out of nowhere. And this all goes back to just Zamasu being a foolish little prick and fusing with Goku Black. It would have been better if they didn't fuse. And I'm not a Zamasu fanboy. I couldn't care less about Zamasu. And I want Zamasu to be defeated, but I want him to be defeated in a very logical way, or in a way that actually makes sense. But do you know who I actually like and I actually disagree with in this episode? No, surprisingly, it's not Trunks. It's actually Goku. In the beginning of the episode, you see one of the most inconsistent shit I've ever seen in my life. Goku, who was one-shotted by Zamasu in the previous episode and was useless against Zamasu, he even took some shots from Zamasu. So it doesn't make sense that he still has his full power against Zamasu. And even if he had his full power, I still have a problem with that, because it doesn't make sense. Like, Goku uses Kaioken after the beam struggle. Like, I get it, Dragon Ball Super, you wanted Goku use Kaioken in the most dire situation, when he was like almost going to be defeated by Zamasu. But if you were going to use the Kaioken, why not use it during the beam struggle? It would make perfect sense. A classic beam struggle, a beam struggle with Goku. It would make sense that Goku uses the Kaioken. It would be a perfect callback for the Saiyan saga between Goku and Vegeta. And hell, he could take it a step further and be, hey, Kaioken times 20. It would have been so hype. I mean, it would make sense why he would win the beam struggle. Because not only Goku wins the beam struggle, but he two-faces this bitch. Harvey Dent looking ass boy. Now, let's move on. Let's move on from this. The thing is, Goku... The thing that really also pisses me off is Goku learned the Mafuba for no reason. The Mafuba in this arc served nothing at all. Like, the only thing it served is just cause more shit, because the Mafuba made Zamasu scared. And when Zamasu got scared, he fused with Goku Black. But did you really need the Mafuba to do that? Did you really need Goku and Vegeta to go through time like multiple times just for Goku to learn the Mafuba, to him not using it at all, to Trunks to learn it and use it against Zamasu. Like, it just served no purpose. Like, I felt the writers just didn't know what to do in that arc. Maybe they were trying to confuse us, but still, like, you could have found other ways to make Zamasu fuse with Goku Black. It didn't have to be the Mafuba. It didn't have to be that complicated. It didn't have to be that stretched out. And this is what I really don't like about it. They stretched the fuck out of this arc only for it to end in such just a short way. Like, it was paced in such a bad way. Like, some parts of Dragon Ball Super, they drag the shit out of it. But the important parts, the parts that we really need to see, like how Trunks got stronger, how Trunks just becomes so powerful, no, they don't show us anything. You don't need to see that because Dragon Ball Super has this mentality of poof, hey, there's a transformation. Oh, hey, there's Super Saiyan Blue. Oh, hey, there's Super Saiyan Rose. Oh, hey, there's this weird, stupid, humongous form of freaking Trunks. Like, come on, Dragon Ball Super, at least just try a little. Try to give us some kind of context of what's happening. But no, they just have to, like, pull things out of their ass without explaining anything. And by the way, I can handle, like, pulling things out of your ass. You may interpret that however you like, but I don't have a problem with it. In fact, one of my favorite transformations, Super Saiyan 3, personally, it's an ass pull, but it was amazing. It was done in an amazing way. It didn't really hurt the plot that much, in my own opinion, actually. Like, I know it's kind of controversial right now, but this is just me. But the way but the way I can be forgiving with Super Saiyan 3 is because I can give the benefit of the doubt. I can be like, oh, hey, I can suspend my belief that Goku trained in the other world. He trained with the best masters. He trained under the harshest conditions. He even says how he couldn't get through this form until he actually died, and he trained in a place where he can actually reach that form. Therefore, I can suspend my belief. Super Saiyan Rose, I can also to an extent suspend my belief because Goku Black was shown to have Zenkai boost. Goku Black, when he fights Goku, gets stronger, and he mimicked Goku. He has Goku's limitless potential. So yeah, in a way, I can suspend my belief. As a Dragon Ball fan, I can suspend my belief. Like, this is a show where characters shoot lasers from their ass and they shoot lasers from their mouth. They can do really crazy shit. So if I can suspend my belief with that, then I can also handle Super Saiyan Rose transformation. But what I can't handle is the inconsistent Trunks power-ups. Trunks has, like, the worst inconsistent power. Like, it doesn't matter if Zamasu was getting weaker in this episode, which was conveyed very poorly in this episode. Like, they told us that Zamasu's Harvey Dent form was making him weak, but they didn't actually give us time to actually process that, or they didn't even stress, because again, the pacing is shit, and Trunks is getting stronger because of no reason. Actually, this arc proves to us that Trunks could have ended everything by himself. Like, he didn't need Vegeta, he didn't need Goku or Vegeta. All he needed is just character development, which I am fine with. But because this arc did not pace it, this arc didn't give us, like, enough build up. They just pull things out of the ass again, and it has this mentality of, I'm going to show you, but I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to explain anything to you. Which, do you know what this does? It hurts the Dragon Ball product because it just confuses the fans. It makes people argue with each other in the comment section. Like, the comment section is such cancer. Dragon Ball is really cancer, and a lot of people are getting turned off from it because it's really infecting us. Like, I'm not trying to sound like a social justice warrior here, but it's really bad for the community, to be honest. Like, the things that they're doing is really killing the fandom, because if the fans can't comprehend, and the fans and everyone is trying to give his own explanation, everybody's trying to give his own headcanons. You see these YouTubers, they're making videos trying to explain everything, which, by the way, they're bullshitting you. Trust me, if they're trying to give you their headcanons to explain something, they're most likely bullshitting you, because it all goes back to bad writing, and it all goes back to what everybody wants to believe. And the anime or the show itself is not giving us a good explanation. And yes, I know a lot of people are going to be like, well, Mutsi, the manga does a very good job. And yes, you're right. The manga does make a good job in conveying the message that is supposed to be conveyed. But here's the thing. The anime is not the manga. The anime and manga are two completely different entities. So you can't really justify what the manga does with the anime. You really can't, because they're too different. If anything, the anime is supposed to be the main source material and the manga is supposed to adapt the anime. So it's the other way around. And I hope the manga does a better explanation to what's happening in this arc. And I really hope the manga does not do the worst thing about this episode. And what that worst thing about this episode, I'm pretty sure you know. It's the spirit bomb that Trunks pulled out of his ass. Trunks pulls a lot of things out of his ass, again. But the worst thing of them all is the spirit bomb. Even Trunks is confused about it. Even he is like, what the hell is this? And I know to some people like to see this scene as symbolic. And I can understand that Toei Animation was trying to go for the symbolic scene. But here's the stupid thing about the spirit bomb, because not only he took the spirit bomb from 30 people, which is nothing. Like, the spirit bomb was like, it didn't even give him that much energy. Like, when Goku used the spirit bomb against Frieza and Planet Namek, he actually took the energy from 3 suns. Yes, 3 suns, including Planet Namek. So for him to take like a spirit bomb from like 6 people, like, that's nothing. And even the way they actually showed us like how he was drawing energy for no reason. And mind you, the spirit bomb requires full focus. When Goku uses the spirit bomb, and I know a lot of people, like, there's this one YouTuber, he's like, oh, we don't know how the spirit bomb works, therefore Trunks could have tapped into it. Well, I don't give a shit how the spirit bomb works, but I know one thing. I know it works when Goku actually uses his full focus and full attention to draw energy. You can't really fight and use the spirit bomb at the same time. You can't really charge an attack and fight at the same time. So this is why I think it's really stupid. And you can tell that Toei Animation was just trying to go for an emotional kind of ending where Trunks is like drawing energy from everyone and this dramatic moment, but it really fell on its face. Because this episode, the real problem with this episode, because I want to finish this rant, it's been so long, but the main issue with this episode is it's paced in such a bad freaking way. Let me tell you how you fix this episode. And this is my opinion, but this is how you kind of fix this episode. I'm not going to change a lot about this episode, but this is how you actually make a good, coherent episode. First of all, the 1 hour rule, that you should at least follow through it, or at least Gawasu should have been the one who gave Goku and Vegeta the earrings. Why Gawasu? Because Gawasu is going to give Goku and Vegeta an earrings from Universe 10, which means that earrings from Universe 10 work differently. So we can actually accept that the earrings that Gawasu are the only earrings that actually give Goku the time limit. And the earrings that were before in the Buu Saga did not do that. The second thing, I don't have a problem with Goku and Vegeta defusing, but from them to defuse and basically be completely useless in this episode is a real problem. Here's the thing. Goku was not supposed to be the one who exposes Zamasu's weakness. It was supposed to be Vegito. Like, here's the thing. How can the final Kamehameha be tanked by freaking Zamasu? Like, okay, we saw the final Kamehameha. It was amazing. I'm pretty sure it made a lot of people wet. But it didn't do jack shit. Like, Goku's Kamehameha made a more effect that Vegito did. So here's how you fix it. You make Vegito the one who exposes Zamasu's weakness, because at least you let Vegito play a role. Vegito is supposed to be the one who makes Zamasu really weak, and it was supposed to be conveyed in the episode that Vegito made Zamasu weak, which enabled Trunks to kill Zamasu. And also, the Spirit Bomb. Goku was the one who's supposed to charge the Spirit Bomb and give it to Trunks, while Vegeta holds back Zamasu. And then Trunks gets the sword and finishes him. It was supposed to be a team effort. It wasn't supposed to be like, screw the rules, I have a giant sword. By the way, Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged reference, love that show. Anyways, these are just my thoughts. I think this episode could have been good had they actually gave Vegito his own episode and they just gave us. It should have been paced well. I think this episode had a lot of good ideas, but it didn't really perform well because the animators and just Toei Animation was just trying to wrap things up really quick. I don't know why, but this is how it went. I'm really disappointed. I don't know how to feel about the overall product of Dragon Ball Super. I'm actually really worried because I feel like it really killed the hype and it really killed the enjoyment of a lot of Dragon Ball Super fans, including myself. So this actually hurts the overall enjoyment of Dragon Ball Super. And do you guys think that people in a couple of years are still going to respect the franchise if they keep pulling things like this? So this is why I feel very annoyed and very sad from what Dragon Ball Super is doing. But hey, I'll leave this for another video and another time and discuss about the future of Dragon Ball. But for now, these are just my honest opinions, my honest, raw, unedited, unscripted opinion of Dragon Ball Super. And I hope you guys enjoyed my thoughts. I hope you guys didn't get so annoyed with my bitching and complaining about Dragon Ball Super. Anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. And if you did, then please like this video, comment your thoughts, just tell me what you think. Follow me on Twitter, do all that good stuff. And I'll see you in the next one. And let's hope that Dragon Ball Super becomes better. Yeah, peace.